Hello, it's Christina Dune. Time for your Married at First Sight New Zealand, Season 2, Episode 8 recap. First, I want to say sorry for the delay. Had to go visit the village nurse this morning because I got hurt. But things will be fine. She's all good. Anyway, well, if you remember correctly, we left off with Gareth and Audie when they said they both wanted to stay, which was good. And we pick right back up where we left off, Wayne and Ksenia. I was expecting maybe something different, but they both said stay. Dan and Yuki. Dan says he was smitten when Yuki walked down the aisle. Gareth says we don't know what happens behind closed doors. Bit of a negative Nancy there, but whatever. Dan and Yuki say they trust each other, and she thought he was sweet by getting earplugs and not telling her because, he was blocking out her snoring. She thought that was quite sweet. They both say stay. Sam and Taylor. Sam breaks down and confesses that he hasn't been able to be open, and he doesn't know why. Sam says he came into this experiment expecting the worst. He had preconceived notions. He says he wasn't expecting to feel like this, and he says he is ready to open up. Hello, that is awesome. Well, he does get quite emotional, and believe me, Taylor was shook. So was I, actually. He was a bit surprised, and, well, we all were. So it's kind of nice to see Sam's vulnerability a bit and that he's opening up. Dave and Julia. Dave says that Julia blew him away on their wedding day. Julia says they get on like best friends. The experts lead Julia to say out loud what she is missing in the relationship. I mean, out loud so that Dave can hear and not everybody else. Julia finally reveals that he is too metrosexual for her. I guess that's with his beauty products and whatnot. But, girl, I'm not sure what the deal is. She says she's attracted to masculinity. Well, I think we need to redefine masculinity these days because, you know what? People have changed. Guys take care of their skin. There's that kind of thing. But maybe in her mind, maybe she's thinking more along the lines of caveman. I don't know. But David's very diplomatic, and he says he kind of expected that she was going to say that. He brings up the honeymoon and how he feels they spent too much time with others before spending time alone together. However, they both say stay. All right, we move on. The next day, the experts send them on their special dates, the surrender dates. It's, an exercise in letting go and trusting your partner to take charge. Well, Wayne gets to take charge, and we all know this may prove difficult. Dave gets to take charge, and he says dinner on top of the Sky Tower and jumping off of the Sky Tower. Julia says it's the stuff she loves to do, so no problem there. Tony says this allows them to be able to show off for their partner the things they love and that sort of thing. Dave first takes her to jump off the Sky Tower before dinner. He was glad to see her laugh again, and she thought it was selfless that he picked something she loved to do. They both have a great time, and now he looks forward to a quiet dinner with her. Wayne and Ksenia go out to the countryside. He's going to give her some driving lessons. Well, of course, she immediately says no, but she puts on the driving suit and the gloves and that he brought her. She doesn't seem happy. And she says it isn't a good idea. Maybe that she was being concerned about the other people on the road. I don't know. He says if she goes with the flow and listens, he thinks she'll be okay. She told him she'd had 5 lessons, but he got a little nervous when she asked him what the handbrake was, which, yeah. He said she cursed more than he's ever heard her curse, and he said, well, they both say it definitely wasn't boring, and he seemed pleased that she was willing to try. Sam and Taylor are on the water. They head to Cable Bay, Waiheke. Taylor picked well. Taylor is a bit quiet, and Sam still wants to hear him chat. Taylor says he doesn't need to know Sam's dirty laundry because it's in the past. And I think that's a really healthy way to think about it. Sam asks Taylor point blank, where does he see the relationship on a scale of 1 to 10? Which is kind of funny because weren't Zunzi and I just doing this last week? Taylor says, to be brutally honest, 9.4. Wow, see, I didn't know he would say that high. Sam says, why did he wait to talk to him about the questioning from their juice date? Because Taylor basically says he was upset for him prying into the past and he wasn't comfortable talking about it and that sort of thing. But they seem to get by it. I think so. Taylor says he was trying to wait for a better time, but Sam is pleased that Taylor is willing to relocate if necessary. And they both seem positive and they kiss. So that's good for them. Dave and Julia have their dinner atop the Sky Tower, and she thanks him for being so thoughtful. He seems to feel positive and says she seems to think it's progressing. So I guess that's good. Time for home visits. Tony says it's important for families and friends to be welcoming, and we all know that's true, don't we? Wayne says he hopes that Ksenia impresses his friends. She says she won't impress anyone, which I'm not sure what she means. And in fact, I think he even had her Google the word impress because he didn't think she understood what he meant. And to be honest, I don't think she really got it either. I mean, he says when she gets a camera on her, it's like she acts like a completely different person. And he's kind of worried. Well, they go to Taranaki, which obviously is gorgeous. We get to see the beautiful mountain. It's just awesome. Ksenia isn't sure about being there. She's coming off again as nasty, but I don't know. He just means for her to put her best foot forward, but I don't think she understood that. I think she thought, like, because then she's like, well, I'm not going to put on a show, but I don't know. Again, maybe it's lost in translation somewhere. You know, he's just like hoping that, you know, she puts her best foot forward and is nice and that sort of thing. But I don't know. I think this communication issue is probably more cultural than I think it is anything else, because I don't think she understood where he was coming from. Bless his heart, though. He tried. But anyway, so as we move on, Wayne's family, of course, they're welcoming to Ksenia. Ksenia says she and Wayne have no common interests. She said they had a spark, but it got lost somewhere. She thinks there's too much pressure, and his family asks if she sees a future with Wayne. It kind of gets lost there because I don't know. It just kind of left us hanging a bit. But his family obviously says they have a lot of opening up to do. But Wayne, he's talking to his mate in the garage, and his mate, as he's telling his mate, it sounds like he has made a decision to just call it quits, because he said, what is the point of going on? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I don't know. He says he gave up his job to do this, so I can't see him chucking it in yet, but I'll cross our fingers. Audie is worried that Gareth's family will be disappointed that she doesn't want children, but, you know, that's really up to the two of them, isn't it? Yuki hopes her dog likes Dan. Dan is returning to Christchurch for the first time since the quakes, and the poor guy, he looks a bit shell-shocked, doesn't he? Oh my gosh, that poor guy. But you know what? He did it, and bless his heart. And you knew it was going to be hard for him, but it was probably a good thing for him to do anyway. You know, you kind of got to face those demons, don't you? Anyway, well, the dog starts to growl, but you know what? My husband and I both think it was the cameras and the other people. We don't think it was Dan per se. So I think that was just, you know, all these people come walking in and the dog's like, what is happening? You know, that was my opinion of it. So I don't think the dog was growling at Dan. We think it was all the extra people around. That was our opinion on that matter. Oh, bless her heart. Yuki introduces him to her work and her work family. And then as we talk to her on the side, she worries that he will think that she's not worth moving back to Christchurch for. And she begins to cry. And at this point, my heart just breaks for her, because her biggest concern is she's going to get hurt. I mean, my heart just hurts so bad because I just want Yuki to be so happy. And I have such high hopes for her and Dan. I really do. They seem really well together, and I really want them to work it out. Well, it looks like we're going to have more chaos tonight, at least from what they showed us. And I also went to the TV3 webpage the other day and took the Which Bride Are You quiz. Now you can imagine my shock when I got Ksenia. What? I know, right? Not sure how that is, but I thought it was kind of interesting. Well, I'm not sure if we'll be having Zenzi join us tonight, but either way, we'll give you the update. So we'll see you again next time on Married at First Sight New Zealand, Season 2.